Let's revise Chapter 2 Adaptations in Plants and also solve its worksheet.
Plants growing in different regions differ from one another. The place where a plant naturally lives and grows is called its habitat. For example, a desert is a habitat for a cactus and a pond is a habitat for a lotus plant. Plants have some special features that allow them to live in a particular habitat. These special features are called adaptations. Plants can be classified into two groups: terrestrial plants, plants that grow on land; aquatic plants, plants that grow in water. Terrestrial plants and their adaptations. Most plants grow on land. Land has a variety of habitats like forests, mountains, plains, and deserts. Each of these habitats differ in their climate and factors like rainfall, altitude, plants growing on mountains. These regions are normally very cold. Many mountain peaks receive snowfall in winters. Some trees found on hills and mountains are pine, fir, deodar, spruce, etc. Some flowerless plants like ferns, mosses, and leeches also grow here. Trees are tall, straight, and thin. Instead of flowers, these trees bear cones with seeds inside them. Plants growing in plains. Generally, plains are neither very cold nor very hot. They support the growth of a variety of trees, herbs, and shrubs. Trees have many branches that spread around. The leaves are many, flat and thin, which help in the evaporation of excess water, keeping the plant cool. Plants growing in hot, humid, and damp climate. Some land regions are extremely hot and humid. Plants like teak, rubber, pepper, coffee, tea, and sugarcane grow in such regions. These trees are evergreen. They never shed leaves. Leaves are arranged in an angular manner on the branches so as to get maximum sunlight. Plants growing in deserts. Extremely hot and dry places are called deserts. There is very little water available in deserts. Cactus, date palm, babool, and kikar are few plants that can be found in a desert. Leaves change into spines to prevent water loss by transpiration. The stem in some plants is green due to the presence of chlorophyll. The stem prepares food in such plants. Plants growing in marshy areas. Waterlogged places are called swamps or marshes. The soil of marshy areas is clay, sticky, and contains less air. The plants that mostly grow in marshy areas are mangroves. Roots grow out of the soil to breathe, as the clay and sticky soil does not allow the roots to breathe. These roots are called breathing roots. Roots have tiny pores or openings at the tips. Plants in the coastal regions. The soil in the coastal regions is sandy. The temperature is high and air is humid. Coconut tree is the most common tree seen in the coastal regions. Leaves are thin and long, allowing the strong winds to pass through them without causing excess damage. Aquatic plants and their adaptations. Plants growing in water are called aquatic plants. Free floating plants, fixed floating plants or fixed aquatic plants, free floating plants. Some plants like water hyacinth, duckweed, wolfia, and pistia float on water. Most of these plants are small in size. Stems are reduced and roots are well developed. Fixed floating plants or fixed aquatic plants. Some of the water plants like water lily and lotus are fixed to the bed of a pond, whereas the rest of the plant body keeps floating. Such plants are called fixed floating plants. Stems are light and hollow to enable leaves and flowers to float. Leaves are broad with a waxy coating that prevents them from rotting. Submerged plants or underwater plants. These plants grow and remain underwater. Tape grass, pondweed, seaweed and hydrilla, their leaves arise in clusters from the roots and do not have any stomata. They have long, ribbon-like narrow leaves. Insectivorous plants. There are some plants which eat insects. They are called insectivorous plants. Pitcher plant and Venus flytrap are examples of insectivorous plants. Pitcher plant. The leaves of pitcher plant form hollow tubes with a lid called pitchers. Insects are attracted by the colorful markings, delicious smell and sticky nectar of the plant. The pitcher hangs with the lid open. When an insect enters, the pitcher lid closes. Once inside the pitcher, the insect is digested by the digestive juices of the plant. This digested food is then absorbed by the plant. Venus flytrap. This plant has sticky hairs on the margin which act like traps. When an insect sits on its leaf, the trap shuts. The insect is then digested with the help of digestive juices of the plants. Plants with thorns. A number of plants like rose, bougainvillea and many other plants have thorns which protect them from animals. Plants with poison. Many plants like the poison ivy have poison in them. This keeps animals away from them. Animal skin starts itching on touching the poison ivy. Saprophytic plants. Some plants do not have chlorophyll and are not green in color. They cannot make their own food. These plants are called saprophytic plants. Coral root and Indian pipe are examples of these plants. Grass family. Do you know that all cereal plants belong to the grass family? Wheat, rice, jawar, maize are some of the cereals. Other than cereals, sugarcane, bamboo and fodder are also members of the grass family. Bamboo is a giant grass. It is used to make baskets, chairs, mats, etc. Some grasses are used to make medicines.